Welcome to Brett Ridgway's Learning for Life Bluegrass Banjo Lessons. And in this lesson, we are going to be attempting the fast jam, actually the intermediate fast jam. Let me correct that. The intermediate fast jam of Cripple Creek. We will be going faster. In our last lesson, in the intermediate jam, we played at the tempo of 100. Now we are doing 150. And in our fast jam, which will be in a few weeks, actually about a month away, it will be up to 200. So we're jumping by 50s. And before we start, and we're going to talk about a few things, but before we start, I want to thank my patrons for making these lessons possible. I don't think people realize how important the patrons are to this work, and this is work, and this is my job. And ironically, it's a job I don't get paid for, but I spend hours and hours and hours doing these videos for not only bluegrass banjo, for hammer dulcimer, mountain dulcimer, clawhammer banjo, and bluegrass banjo, all of which are available to anyone all the time. And I probably will be adding another instrument, hopefully in the next few weeks. However, this is not a sideline. This is how I make my living through music, be it through this, through workshops, through festivals. But my income for these lessons solely comes from those who are willing and able to give back to this program. They are the ones who are giving out of a heart of gratitude, out of a heart of concern for the music, out of a heart of wanting to share the music. And if you're watching these videos, it's because there is a patron who is giving, often sacrificially, so that you might be able to do that. So thank you, patrons, for making that possible. And to anyone who might consider becoming a patron. It's just a very important part of what this work is even about. And I could not literally be doing this without your help. If you're taking the lessons, I hope they're a help and a blessing to you. I hope you're learning. They are in an order. We have the lessons numbered. And again, the patrons do get a little bit more. They get one lesson a month more than everyone else, as they should, they're not paying for that lesson. They're getting it as a reward for what they're doing for me. But the lessons are numbered, and you want to go through them. In this lesson, specifically, you notice you don't see my right hand. You don't need to see my right hand at this point. If you've taken these lessons, if you've done the slow jam, if you've done the intermediate jam, you should have this completely. In fact, by the time you did the intermediate jam, you should have this completely memorized. That should not be a thing. It should be just a matter of working on your speed and getting your speed up. And at the end of the slow jam and at the end of the intermediate jam, I gave you a practice track with which you can play. So you want to work on that. Now, one thing that's important as we increase speed, what happens is people panic and they mess up and then they start over. What you want to do is you don't want to start over. If you mess up, you want to just keep going through. Keep that right hand going. Keep vamping. If you don't know what vamping is, go back to lesson 6. And you should know that by now if you're attempting this lesson. Go back to lesson 6 and see that right hand, this right hand, you want to keep it going. And even if this hand messes up, if you keep that right hand going, you'll flow back in. Now, another thing to do is if you're playing along and you mess up, don't go back and try to fix that as well. Just drop out for a second and then try to come back in. By this time, you should have the chords memorized for this particular song. So let's get started. And I'm going to play, you're going to have the 8-beat count in. It's going to be a little quicker. I'm going to play the melody the first time, and then I'm going to play the backup the second 2 times. You can do whatever you want. All right. It might help for you just to watch. It might help for you to try to play along with me. But we're going to do this, and then we will give you your own practice track. So let's get started. Here we go. So if you notice, I missed that C. And if you also notice, it didn't really matter a whole lot. What I was doing, I was trying to throw in this, which you can do that. All I'm doing is the 4th string pinch, 3, 2, 1, 4th pinch, 3, 2, 1, thumb, index, middle together, thumb, index, middle. So that's why I messed that up. But the point is, I left it in. I left it in so that you can see when you mess up, if you keep going, it's barely noticeable at all. So we're going to do it again. I'm going to give you your own practice track, and you're going to have that same 8-note count in. And then I'm not going to play along with you. I'm just going to let you play. And again, use this as a practice track so that when we get to the next lesson, you'll be ready for it. So let me find my marker. Here we go. Your 8-note count in. Have fun. Don't panic. Enjoy. There you go. So hope you did well. And if you didn't, again, don't worry about that. It's a learning process. That's the purpose of having a practice track, something that you can go over and over and over and over until that you can get that speed up. And I'm telling you, if I said there was a secret to this, one would be knowing your chords and the tune, and the second would be not to panic. If you don't panic, you're going to do just fine. If you know your chords, you'll do just fine. But again, most people panic because it's so fast and there's no waiting and you got to jump right in there. So again, if you jump in and you can't jump in the right place, just stop and let it catch up. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that. We will see you on your next lesson. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you again, patrons.